Hi, I'm Dave, founder of Halloween Year Round, and I'm here at Valley Forge National Historical Park in Pennsylvania. Yes, the exact same place where George Washington and his army spent the winter of 1777 into 1778. The place where they were whipped into shape by Baron von Steuben and trained to become the formidable fighting force that would eventually defeat the British Empire. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the 1996 slasher movie Uncle Sam, and I couldn't think of a better place to do it than Valley Forge. This is a movie that I feel like is obligatory watching every 4th of July for horror fans, but there's more to it than I think gets talked about normally that I wanted to address here. Like, I know that everybody always talks about how it's like a patriotic slasher, it's a holiday slasher. It's from Bill Lustig. It's got the vibes of Maniac Cop. It's written by, Larry Cohen. It has all that, like, schlock to it. It tackles some deep issues like patriotism versus nationalism, hero worship and the nature of war. I love Isaac Hayes' character and that, he's a patriot, but he doesn't glorify war. He's like, no, war is nasty, war is ugly, but that doesn't make him not patriotic. So I could talk about all those things, but what I really want to talk about is the fact that Uncle Sam is kind of the last of its kind. So what do I mean when I say that? I mean that in 1996, everything changed. And it changed not that long after Uncle Sam was released. In December of 96, we get Scream. It's Wes Craven coming back into slashers. Kevin Williamson, the guy behind Dawson's Creek, and it's blending that, like, witty teen banter with slashers and kind of revamping them. Let's be honest, the slasher genre was kind of on its way out in the early 90s. But the biggest thing that Scream changed, it wasn't just that it launched a wave of new teen slashers like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend. It's the fact that Scream was successful and so popular because of how meta it was. These were characters that were self-aware. They knew the tropes. They knew the cliches of horror. And going forward, name a popular slasher movie that doesn't try to be meta. Whether it's Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Oh, it's a slasher movie, but it's like a mockumentary. Or whether it's The Final Girls. Oh, it's like a slasher movie, but like they literally go into the movie and they analyze the tropes and everything. Whether it's In a Violent Nature. Oh, it's a slasher movie, but it's from the killer's point of view. Every single slasher movie that's getting made anymore, the filmmakers are thinking, how can I make this meta? Like, we can't just do straightforward slasher. We can't just do straightforward whatever. And it feels like Uncle Sam was the last one that wasn't trying to do that. Yes, there are some. Obviously, there's an exception that proves every rule true. For me, that would probably be the Terrifier series. That's just trying to be a straight-up slasher. But even that, it's pushing the boundaries, with its gore and its kills. So it's still doing its own thing. But no one's making movies like Uncle Sam anymore. No one's making just your standard slasher, holiday-themed horror movie that's not trying to go out of its way to be meta. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a thing. It reminds me a little bit of, so I was a history major. Fun fact, I went to school to be a history teacher, and I was a teacher for a few years. But anyways, I remember taking this course called historiography, where you were, like, learning the history about history, and you were learning to, like, look at historical texts and writings of historians, and instead of just taking what they said at face value, you were like, what's their bias? How does their own experience influence why they're, why is Herodotus writing about the Persians this way and the Greeks this way? Stuff like that. And I remember kind of getting a little frustrated where, we'd be in that class and they'd be like, oh, what's the historian thinking? Let's deconstruct everything. And I remember thinking, can't we just read the history and learn, and it's an interesting story? There's a time and place to deconstruct, but do we have to do it all the time? And it feels like, especially with slashers today, and ever since Scream, everything has to be deconstructed. And Uncle Sam is like this time capsule of like the last movie. It didn't know Scream was coming out. It didn't know that everyone was going to want to deconstruct. And in a way, it just feels like this earnest little slasher movie that's so much more than just a 4th of July themed horror movie that I like to watch every year on the holiday. But it feels like a special moment in time preserved that didn't realize it was going to be no one knows they're going to be the last of something, and Uncle Sam didn't know it was going to be the last slasher of its kind. But hey, these are just my thoughts. I would love to hear yours. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of Uncle Sam. Am I onto something? Am I right? Am I just overthinking it like I always do? Like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. If you don't, you may end up with a patriotic Uncle Sam themed killer coming after you for not doing something the right way. And as always, every day is, well, today it's the 4th of July. But Halloween.